This is ELT 115 section 1, and today is May the 14th. Thank you for reminding me of recording the class. That is something that I have forgotten at least 4 times probably. Okay, but you can see the other ones that are in the YouTube channel. I posted the link in the LMS. Okay. All right, let's go back to the presentation. When we talk about voiceless sounds, right? Voiceless sounds. Remember, voiceless vocal cords do not vibrate. Okay. We have sounds that are aspirated and sounds that are unaspirated. Let's talk about these voiceless sounds, which can be aspirated or unaspirated. For example, t is in toy, 10, timber, is voiceless. P as in pen, pan, pot, Peter is voiceless as well. Okay. K as in coin, Kansas, climate, it's also voiced. Okay, remember that the test is placing your hand and touching the your throat and see if there's some vibration. Okay, t, p, k. All of them are voiceless sounds. Okay, so far so good. Hello. Yeah. Okay. Do you all agree that these are voiceless sounds?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Remember, never believe me. Always test yourself. Okay. Always go and Google. Go and read a book. Okay. Always test what I'm saying. That's what I like about teaching, because not that you don't believe the teacher, but you don't actually take it from a spoon. You're not being fed with a spoon by the teacher, okay? Because you can eat on your own, and you can hunt, you can cook your food, all right? I mean, in terms of knowledge. So, t, p, and k are 3 voiceless sounds, because when you produce them or articulate them, the vocal folds do not vibrate. Okay, now these sounds, these voiceless sounds, can be aspirated or unaspirated. It's in a very easy way. Always when these 3 voiceless sounds are in initial position, they are aspirated. And when they are in middle position or final position, most of the times they are unaspirated. Now, who cares, right? I mean, what's the big deal about this? Well, if you see the examples here, pit, puck, pull, and pen, in English, we need to add this plosion, this puff of air, right? You place your hand in front of your mouth, and you feel the puff, pit, puck. You place a piece of paper, as some teachers used to teach this aspiration feature, and you place that piece of paper and you say pit, puck, pull, pen, and you actually you can see the sheet of paper shaking or moving. Okay, that is called aspiration. Okay, that the feature of aspiration is present in voiceless sounds in initial position. Okay, such as pit, park, pool, pan. For example, let's take the ones that are here on your top right screen. For example, when you say 10, 10, right? When you say toy, toy, is also the first sound, the initial sound is aspirated. Okay. For example, when you say coin, coin, or when you say can, right? Can, the initial sound also is sorry about that. Is also aspirated. Okay. Now, what's the big deal about this? In Spanish, we don't have aspiration in initial voiceless sounds. We don't say, for example, voy a ir al parque. or no tengo tiempo para atenderte. We don't use aspiration in Spanish. We use aspiration in English for voiceless in initial position. Okay? So we have to say 10, toy, pit, park,
¿Qué le
coin.
pasa?
I'm sorry?
Ay.
I'm sorry, there was a question. Was there a question here?
Ay.
Isabel, was it a question?
No, teacher.
I have a question. ¿Me escucha? Okay. Also, else at the age could be in case like the P.
Okay, let me clear when you say okay, let me see if I can understand the question. You help me out, right? When you say H, okay, let me put this into slashes because this is phonemic transcription. When we say H, we're talking about the letter. And when you say P, you're talking about the letter. Okay?
Yes. Yes.
Okay, so when you say the sound as in hat or who.
No. Hablo de, por ejemplo, el fonema, por ejemplo, de la P con la H. A la T y a la K también se le agrega la H. A eso me refiero.
Okay. PH. Okay. When you get this combination of two letters, two graphemes. No, that's not the question. Sorry.
Like abajo, en aspirated. La P con la H arriba, la chiquitita.
Ajá.
Esa es mi pregunta. ¿Acaso si esa H se le agrega a la T y a la K también cuando van al principio?
Yes, exactly.
Gracias.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. Yes, I was going to explain that after I finished with these examples. Exactly.
Sorry.
No. That's good. That's good. So just to finish, aspiration is not present in Spanish. Aspiration is present in English. Okay. So when you say these words, you don't say ten, toy, or coin, or pit, park, pool, pen. Okay. You have to add aspiration. You have to say coin, ten, toy, pit, park. Okay. Some people do not add aspiration, but so they transfer the p, the Spanish p, the Spanish t, and the Spanish k. Okay. So don't say coin, say coin. Don't say ten, say ten. Okay. And the symbol to represent aspiration is this small symbol that looks like an X. So you put that one here, for example, there, you put it here, and in all voiceless plosive sounds in initial position. Okay? Now, this feature of aspiration is not present when the sound is in middle position or in final position. For example, here, the P is present here in spit, spark, spool, and span. If you do the exercise, if you place the piece of paper in front of you and you say pit, the piece of paper moves. And if you say spit, the piece of paper does not move, or it moves really, really little. When you say park, big puff of air. When you say spark, no puff of air. Pool, spool. Pan, span. So in middle position, as the examples that are here, you don't have aspiration. Okay, and for example, the same sound p in this word, top, top, no aspiration, top, top. Okay, so this small symbol that Pia was asking, this small letter H, that means aspiration, or it means that this phoneme is aspirated, is not present when the sound is in middle position or in final position. Okay?
Yes. Amazing.
All right, thank you. Thank you for the feedback. So the idea is to puff or not to puff. To puff or not to puff. So you puff when it's in initial position. You do not puff when the voiceless plosive is in middle or final position. As I said before, lots of classifications. Some we have a big family of oral sounds and a small family of nasal sounds. Okay, a big family of oral sounds in which the airflow escapes through the oral cavity, and a small group of sounds in which the airflow escapes through the oral cavity, but also through the nasal cavity. How can this happen, right? Basically, the velum here is raised, and as the velum is raised, the passage is blocked, so the airflow is not entering the nasal cavity when the sounds are oral. When the sounds are nasal, the velum is lowered, is down. So therefore, the airflow escapes through the nose and through the mouth. Okay, examples of nasal sounds. We have and as in mother, as in no, as in sing, the final sound of sing. Okay. So, for example, when you transcribe the word sing, that is the final sound, and this is the final symbol representing that particular sound. Okay. So, in terms of the four classes of speech sounds or sound units, we can talk about oral sounds or nasal sounds, and these oral sounds can be voiced, as this group of sounds here, or they can be voiceless. So, for example, B is a voiced oral consonant sound. P is a voiceless oral consonant sound. Okay. Remember that this section referred to the vibration of the vocal folds, and this section refers to where the airflow leaves, or from which cavity the airflow leaves your body, right? Through the nasal cavity or the oral cavity, through the nose or through the mouth. And we don't have any nasal voiceless consonant sounds, right? All of the nasals, which are only three, are voiced, not voiceless. The rest of the sounds are oral, meaning the rest of the sounds are produced with the airflow leaving your body through the oral cavity. Okay, let me fix this. Let me fix this. We have a question here in the chat. Teacher can record the class. Okay, sorry. I didn't see the the chat. I'm sorry. I'm sorry about that.
Teacher,
Yes, sir.
did you said that all the nasal sounds are voice? Okay.
Exactly. I have a very interesting website here that I would like to share with you. Okay. Sounds of English. Plosives. Okay. I'm going to share with you. I'm going to include the audio. It's about plosives. Let me know if you can see it. Can you see the website that's called thesoundsoфenglish.org and it says plosive consonant sounds?
Yes.
Yay, all right, here we go.
Plosive consonants are made by completely blocking the flow of air as it leaves the body, normally followed by releasing the air. English pronunciation contains 6 plosive phonemes. Pick, b, bed, t, team, d, dine, k, code, g, get. The sounds b, d, g are voiced. They are pronounced with vibration in the vocal cords. P, t, k are voiceless. They are produced with air only. The voiceless plosives are often aspirated in English pronunciation. Plosive spellings. Common spellings for each plosive are underlined below. P, purse, b, bell, t, talk, stopped, d, done, play, played, k, kite, cone, queen, chronic, excited, g, gone, exhaust. Glottal stop. The voiceless alveolar plosive sound t is often replaced with a voiceless glottal plosive in connected speech. This most frequently occurs when t appears at the end of a syllable and the following sound is a consonant. Witness.
All right. So we have an explanation here of how the plosive sounds are made, a completely blocking of the flow of air, right? Sometimes the place where you block the air is right here in between the lips, right? So this is a bilabial plosive, right? P and B, because the lips are actually stopping the air from leaving your mouth. In the case of T and D, these are alveolar plosives, right? Again, there's blocking of the air and then a sudden release as an implosion, and the airflow is stopped in this area, right? In the area of the alveolar ridge. And in the case of k and g, as in code and get, again, the airflow is stopped, but this time at the area of the velum. Okay, so from now on, we're going to be, because we already talked about a place of articulation, so we're going to, when we describe the consonant sounds, we're going to refer to them using the place of articulation plus the manner of articulation. Okay, so p is going to be bilabial plosive, b is going to be a bilabial plosive as well. Okay, later on we're going to add voicing, so p will become a bilabial plosive voiceless, and b, as in bed, will be considered a bilabial plosive voiced. Okay, so that's the idea, to go increasing in terms of how we describe vowel sounds. Okay, so here we're presented with 6 plosive phonemes, right? Some people call these plosive consonants, some people call them stops. I would call them stops or plosive depending on the position of the phoneme. When you consider any of these sounds in initial position, they are quite plosive, because you say, for example, pick, team, right? You say coat. But as I told you before, when you place this initial p in final position, and you say top, or you say you place this one as in pet, the final sound of pet is not really plosive. It is a stop because you stop the airflow, but the aspiration feature is not present. Okay, that's why some people call these stops or plosive, but I kind of make the difference. Okay. These are the stops. Do you have any questions? Are you there? No? Are you still with me? Am I still with you?
Question, sorry.
Yeah, go on.
The manner of articulation is the plosive of stops, or is the voices and voiceless? Because I have a confusion there. I can hear you, teacher. It's mute. There is.
Thank you. Thank you. Okay, I'm going to start over. So the way in which the airstream is affected is going to be referred to as manner of articulation, right?
Okay.
And basically, the airstream is affected in many different areas. We're going to separate voicing, and we're going to be referring to voicing as something different, even though it's also related to how the airflow is being affected. But we're going to discuss this separately. So we're going to say voicing as one, category, manner as another one, and place of
place.
articulation as another one. Yes.
Okay.
Alrighty. So these are the plosive or stop sounds, right? P, b, t, d, k, g, and t, which is a glottal stop. The next sound is the fricative family. Let me see if I can find it here, because I had it open. I'm going to copy and paste, by the way, I'm going to copy and paste these links in the chat so you can have them. Fricatives. Okay, right here. I don't know if you're seeing a website that says fricative consonant sounds now.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, wonderful. Can you hear the sound?
Fricative consonants are made by squeezing.
Yes?
Yes.
Okay, good.
Perfect.
Here we go. Excellent. Here we go.
Fricative consonants are made by squeezing air between a small gap as it leaves the body. In English pronunciation, there are 9 fricative phonemes. F, v, th, th, s, z, sh, zh, h, made in 5 positions of the mouth. F, first, v, van, th, thick, th, these, s, saw, z, zen, sh, she, zh, casual, h, hard. The fricative sounds v, v, z, zh are voiced. They are pronounced with vibration in the vocal cords, whilst the sounds f, th, s, sh, h are voiceless, produced only with air. Fricative sound spellings. Common spellings for each fricative sound are underlined below. F, far, v, save, of, th, think, th, those, s, sir, race, z, zoo, rise, sh, sharp, chef, pressure, sugar, motion, zh, beige, Asia, pleasure, ahead.
All right. Do you have any questions or comments? So
Yes,
fricatives. Yeah, go ahead, please.
the difference between thick and this.
Okay, so in this particular two fricative sounds, both of them are interdental sounds. Here we see dental. Some phoneticians call them dentals. I prefer interdentals because it's clear that you refer to the tip of the tongue inserting or being inserted in between the teeth, the upper and lower teeth. So both of them have the same place of articulation. You place your tongue in between, like this, right? And then you say thick, thick, thick in the first one. And in the second one, you say this, these, 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 the. Other examples of this one is, for example, thought, thought, think, think, thanks, thank you, thin, thin. Okay, and when you think about this one, you have other examples as the like the boy, the girl, the house, the then, like I went to the store, and then I came back home. Then, this, these is the one here. Though, that, over there, there. Look at that, okay? So some people, even when they don't know the language, they don't know English, they go to an English-speaking country. For example, they go to United States. They go to work. They work hard. They don't go to college. They just work, and they hear this sound thick, thick, thick. Sometimes they believe that they are producing an F sound. I remember an acquaintance, someone that I met that went to the States, and I'm not going to say his name, of course, because it's part of the story. But he went to work, and then he met an American guy whose name was Matthew. Well, Matthew is pronounced with this one, Matthew, with a th, right? With this sound, th, Matthew. But he couldn't hear the sound because he was not studying English. He just went to work, you know. He went to work mainly illegally. Okay, so he didn't go to school, etc. So he just heard English. And he didn't say Matthew. He said Matthew. Matthew. Okay, he replaced this, which is an interdental fricative, with a labiodental fricative, because he could not understand the concept of inserting the tip of the tongue in between the teeth, because no one told him, no one explained him how this sound was articulated, because we don't have this in Spanish. So what's the closest sound in Spanish to this interdental fricative? F, which is a labiodental fricative, which is also part of the same family. Okay, but that's why it's important to take some time and study the language, like, you know, in a phonetics class or in a communicative competence class. So I hope this one is clear. Thick, these, the.
Yes, very clear.
All right, thank you so much. All the questions are welcome, all right? Any other questions?
Professor, teacher, the sound between how to say it, zen and casual, that sound is, I confuse them.
Okay, let's focus on the left, please. It says alveolar, right? And these two sounds are alveolar because the tip of the tongue touches the alveolar ridge, which is the place behind the upper teeth, right? Behind the upper teeth, we have the alveolar ridge, which is right this area. So so and zen So then we place the tongue in the same position, and we say, and we can practice and going back and forth with these two sounds. We just add vibration, but we don't move the tongue. The tongue remains in the same place. So we can say Suzu, Suzu, Suzu. Okay, so the two sounds are alveolar, and the difference is, both are alveolar fricative. Remember that's what we're learning now, the manner of articulation. Both of them are alveolar fricative, and the only difference is that this one is voiced because we add vibration. I can feel the vibration in my throat. I suggest you do it as well, so you can practice and feel the vibration in your throat, right? Now, in the case of these two on the right, these are post-alveolar sounds. Post-alveolar sounds because they are produced or articulated a little bit behind the alveolar ridge, okay? So when you say she, 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 as if you are asking for silence, right? You're hashing someone up. You say shh, shh. So focus on the initial sound here. Shh. Take a look or try to perceive where your tongue is. Shh. And then we're going to add vibration. So we go from sh to sh, 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 okay? Sh, the place of articulation is exactly the same. Both of them are articulated by raising the front part of the tongue, not the tip, the front part of the tongue, and you press the area in between the alveolar ridge and the hard palate. That's why it's called post-alveolar, past the alveolar ridge, and you add vibration. The best way is you can start with this one, and then you add vibration. So here we say she, but in this one we say casual, 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 casual. Okay, casual. She, casual. Okay, they are very similar. We can see these two phonemes in many minimal pairs because the place of articulation is the same and the manner of articulation is the same. Both of them are post-alveolar. Both of them are fricatives. And the only difference is that the one here at the bottom is voiced. There's vibration of the vocal cords, and the first one is voiceless. Shh, shh. Okay, I hope this is a little bit more clear for you.
Thank you, teacher.
No problem. And finally, hard, hard, hello, hey, who, height, hate, I don't know, hurt. I think the difficult part of this one is that sometimes when you are teaching this sound to students in elementary school or high school, they kind of transfer the sound that we have in Spanish, that when you say Jaime or Jeremías or Jota, okay, when you say Jaime, Jeremías, Jota, it's not exactly the same. Actually, it's not a glottal sound when you say Jaime. If you say Jaime, Jaime, that is a velar sound because the back of the tongue is pressing the soft palate So when you say Jeremías, Jaime, it's a different sound. It's not a glottal. So I guess that is the difficult part, because this sound is not the same J we have in Spanish. Okay, it's a glottal sound. It's not here in the velum or soft palate. It's right here in the glottis area. Okay, and finally, we're
Teacher?
going to, yes, sir.
So is in English is not a sound like J in
No,
no words? Okay.
I mean, yeah. There is a sound that is quite similar, which is it looks like an X. I put it in the chat room, and it's a very specific sound in some dialects, some accents. I think it's Scottish accent. For example, when they call the lake, they call the lake. I think they call it loch. Loch. If you remember the story about Nessie, the sort of prehistoric dinosaur that lives in a lake, I think it's in Scotland, right? They call it loch instead of lake. You know that depending on the variety of English, they have different sounds. They have a different accent, different sounds, right? But also they have different dialects. They have different vocabulary. So they use the word loch for a lake. And loch, the final sound is similar to the Spanish jota. But the sound that you can find in words like hat or hand or hello is not jota. It's not jota.
It's glottal. It's different.
It's glottal, exactly. It's not velar, it's glottal. Hello. So you have to say hello, just like that. As if you were breathing, only using your mouth and not your nose. Okay, I think it's time for a break. Are you okay with having a break now?
Obviously.
Alrighty, so it's 11:50. Can we meet at 12? Is that all right with you?
Yes.
Okay, so 12 it is. I will see you at 12. Enjoy the break.
Bye.
See you later.
All right.